Okay, I'm calling Clint Rainey from New York Magazine. Okay, this is hey, how's? Yeah, it's much better. Oh, no problem. I'm happy to talk to anyone who needs to talk to me. You know, in the beginning it was so much that I had no way to even begin to keep track. And so, like, anyone who wanted to talk, I'm just okay. It's good. I was a hermit living on the side of this mountain. You know, like, had no clue about any of this stuff. And you know, all of a sudden I'm the most Google person on the planet. And the phone is ringing off the hook, and they want me to fly all over the world. And you know, it was like within just a couple weeks I found myself in these situations like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, it's like, and you know, here's the thing. I don't really care about any of it. You know, I dedicated myself to being a servant. I was in a sweat lodge 2 weeks before I went viral, and I said, if I'm supposed to do something, I won't say no. And so since, you know, after that happened, I went viral. It's like every single thing that comes, I just meet it head on. You know, I'm a fighter, a professional fighter, and so I attack everything. All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I was in a sweat lodge in Yosemite, and I was with my son. My children are Awanichi Indians. They're the Indians that inhabited Yosemite Valley, and we have a thriving, active native culture, and we have ceremonies all throughout the year. And a sweat lodge is an ancient sacred ceremony that Indians do to cleanse and purify and pray. And so I prayed in this one really powerful one in Yosemite Valley where there was bears running around outside and bear skins on the lodge. And the Yosemite Indians are the bear tribe. And I was thinking that I was supposed to be a bear dancer, but I didn't really know what I was supposed to do. I just felt like I was supposed to do something. And so I said, if there's something I'm supposed to do, I won't say no. And man, that was really powerful, because then I went viral. I think it wasn't even 2 weeks later, and it was so much requests. I was literally talking on the phone all day, every day, and sometimes I had to stay up overnight to do stuff on the East Coast, you know, TV on the East Coast. It was mind-blowing. And you know, I'm this hermit. I haven't worked in I stopped working in 2004. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do cage fighting and photography and videos, and I'm gonna grow my own food, and I'm gonna breed dogs, and you know, my land's paid off, so I get to do whatever I want. So it's like, I'm not going to think about anything. I'm just going to do what's interesting and fun to me. And, you know, I was surviving very, not very well, but, you know, my land's paid off. And so, you know, what do you got to do? So, yeah, I was real poor. And just living alone here on the side of this mountain. And then I'm the most Google person on the planet, and everyone wants to talk to me. They want this TV show in England, in London, gave me video of the year in 2010, and they wanted to fly me to London to go on their TV show, and I was too busy flying all over the world to fit in a trip to England. Yeah, I'm doing a big story on CNN right now, and they asked me, it was perfect because they primed me up. They asked me all these questions. They wanted all these they wanted links to some of these videos. I just sent them this one where I spoke at MIT, and when I landed, I was on the front cover of the Boston Globe. It's been so crazy, man. Just the things that but the things that this thing has brought, it's just like, you cannot imagine it. Like, to have tens of thousands of people singing my words to me from a song that I didn't write or sing. And that's happened many, many times. And then, probably, okay, so the day after I went viral, I got the Double Rainbow song from the Gregory Brothers, and then MTV calls, and they're like, we want to run 2 of your videos, and I'm just going, holy shit, man. And the numbers are just like, bam, it's 100,000, 500,000. It was so nuts, man. And then Jimmy Kimmel was in hiatus right when he tweeted the video, he went on a hiatus. So when he came back, I was huge, and he had found me, So he calls me up and says, like, yeah, come on down and be on the show, and then Tosh.0, and I'm at this point, I'm so poor. I have no car. I don't have a cell phone. I don't have no money. I'm just like this poor hermit, and it was so bizarre. It felt like a flying carpet came and picked me up and took me everywhere I needed to go because I didn't have to do nothing. It was really mind-blowing. Yeah. No, I knew. I knew. Everyone around me was like, something's coming, something's big's coming, you're going to be famous. No, and I didn't do anything to make it happen, at least not intentionally, I mean, I look back and it's like everything that happened, yeah, I did that step, but I wasn't thinking of the end prize. I was reacting to whatever came in front of me. Yeah, it works for me. Yeah. Yeah. I just spent the last couple hours dealing with this, what is it, oh, I can't say exactly what it is, but they want to use some words like mine in a TV commercial, and they don't want to get sued, so they're making a contract with me saying that I'm not going to say anything bad about it. That, and then I'm doing a big story. CNN has been working on a story about me for most of the year. They sent a crew out here this summer, and they spent the day following me around the farm, and then I took them swimming with my girlfriend, and yeah, and that's just today. Oh, and then I went out and watered the front yard. Yeah, in between that shit. And then, oh yeah, I'm sending emails to this YouTube 10-year rewind. They want me to be in that. So that's pretty big. That, you know, I like the 10-year stuff because that really seals my iconic status in YouTube. The video I just put out yesterday, I talk about all this because YouTube sent me. Well, they asked if they could use my video and the title in these bags that they were gonna give at some event, and they sent me a bunch of them and a nice card saying how I was a big part of YouTube's history and the community now, and so that was really cool. That made me feel real good. You know, there's a mini room at YouTube called Double Rainbow Room. Yeah. Yeah, it's really trippy, you know, because it's been 5 years and this stuff is still going on. And you know what? I don't do anything. I don't try. I just react to everything that comes to me. And you're lucky I just finished this email to this guy. Here, let me pull it up. This year alone, I was in the Delta Airlines safety video. I was in People Magazine. What else? I went to YouTube and they sung to me again. I did a commercial for this thing called Society Grown-Ups. I was on the Late Late Show. I mean, this year it's 5 years. Still going. You know, it's crazy. Well, you know, here I am living alone on the side of this mountain, doing what I was doing before I went viral, and kind of just living my life, and all this stuff just comes at me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just dealing with it. You know what the other trippy thing is? I get all these women from all over the world that come and work on my farm. They pay their own way to get here from all over the world, and they clean my house and they cook for me, and they work in the garden, and they go places with me, and they massage me and work on me, and they don't. When they ask to come, they have no idea who I am. This is just all independent of being famous. That's just the other side of my life. I have a farm. I have a self-sustaining farm, and I put a site on couch surfing, Workaway, and Help X. And all these young women from all over the world want to do this. So they come and they pretty much cook and clean. They do my laundry, and they just have me on the farm, and I make videos out of it. And the long-term ones, I tell them it's a 10-day minimum. Sometimes they come for several weeks, and I tell them that wait, what do I say? Oh, they come without a car, and so then I open my couch surfing, and I take almost always women they come in their cars by themselves in a rental car, and I'll take 2 or 3 of them on a tour all over Yosemite. I make videos of that shit. Yeah, they come and live here with me. Yeah, on the sites they don't let you tell exactly who you are, so I just kind of hint, you know, I just tell them that I grow food here to eat, and but my main thing is YouTube videos, and I think the only thing I say is the only thing I export is my YouTube videos and rainbows. That's right, I say that on one of my profiles. And yeah, they ask to come from all over the world and stay with me every day. You know, I'm having to turn so many away. I just these young women that's generally between like early 20s to late 20s, they get this itch and they just want to go travel the world and it's called, the generic term is called woofing. Although I don't use woof anymore, but you know, that's just a way to connect with people that have places that will host you, you know, and I have 2 extra bedrooms here, and I also have tents. So yeah, I just let them come. They show up in my town at the bus stop. I pick them at the bus stop, and they stay with me for 10 days minimum. But some of them end up staying 3-4 weeks. And then they leave me videos. They leave me this awesome reference videos. I got a whole collection of videos that these women are like, oh, we love Bear. He's so amazing and took us all over and he loves to laugh. And it's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Oh, they treat me so good. You know, they clean the house and they cook and do laundry and they serve me and, you know, can I get you anything, Bear? And they walk on me and they massage me and I go places with them. It's like I usually have 2 or 3 with me everywhere I go. I got this entourage of young, beautiful women. It's really bizarre. And none of them know that I'm famous when they ask to come. They only find out. Some of them don't even get it until they get here, and they walk around with me, and they're like, "Holy shit!" Yeah. You can't, yeah, they won't let you because you got to pay to connect to them, you know, so they won't let you tell who you are. So I try and give some hints, but you know what? The people who are coming here, they're not interested in YouTube. They're travelers, and they're people who want to someday have their own farm. You know, that's not why they're coming here. And the people that watch my videos, they don't travel. They don't come here. It's, yeah, 2 different things. But I really tapped into this vein of all these. There's a whole new thing going on where women want to go travel by themselves because it really opens them up. You know, it's like they're open to whatever comes, and so like they come. I mean, I have so many references. You know, they're like, oh, it was awesome here, and then the women see that and it's like they're attracted to that. That in the land just attracts women. It's incredible. It's like hundreds. Huh? Right. Yeah, but when you go see my couch surfing profile, there's over 100 positive references, most of them from young single women, and they're like, it was awesome. He's amazing. He's great, and I want to come back, and then I started asking them to make videos for me, and that, I just like give them the video camera, and I tell them, go ahead, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to say, go ahead, and I just throw that exactly how they make it on there, and it's obvious that that's what it is, and they're like, he helped me, this one girl I had from Czech, and it's like, I was a mess when I got there, and he did a healing on me, and I'm so much better, and I love you, Bear, and it's pretty mind-blowing. It's nice, I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever had, which is, I had one of them stay for a year, one of the volunteers stay for a year, and she turned into my girlfriend right away. That's the best thing. But, since I don't have that, it's hard to say no to these women. It's like, can I come in a rental car and take you out to eat and drive you wherever you want to go? That's what it's like. Yeah. I set up my couch surfing profile in 2006. I started taking guests in 2007, and in 2009 it really exploded. 2009 I was never without any women here pretty much the whole year. Sometimes 2 or 3 or 4. When it started happening, I'm like, what the hell is going on? What is this, Man, it was just like I just had to tap into it. I had to set up the place, and once I started getting references from some brave ones that, you know, because like, oh, I'm coming with this 50-year-old or 40-something-year-old man, you know, what's it like? But some of them are brave, you know, and it's like they left me a good reference, and you build up those references, and then, you know, when you Couchsurfing has a binding reference system, which means I can't change it. You know, they write what it's like Yelp, you know, and so they write, you know, that I maintain a code of conduct that's gonna make it so that no one's gonna be like, oh, I had a bad experience, you know. Yeah. Concurrently. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you 99% of my life is exactly the same. The 1% that's changed is whenever I go anywhere, which I don't go very many places very often, everyone recognizes me. I don't go anywhere without people stopping and saying, oh my God, you know, I love you. Could I take a picture? You know, they want to tell me show me their rainbow pictures on their phone. I mean, yeah, everywhere I go. That, and I do a lot of interviews still. You know, I'm sitting in the same seat I was at when the double rainbow came. I'm looking at the same mountain. right now, but I've done hundreds and hundreds of interviews from all over the world, from every format. So you know, I mean, the rest of the day is like I got to go tend the farm, I got to do stuff, you know. I mean, but I'll spend a few hours doing this kind of stuff every day. So just dealing with being famous is probably how my life has changed. But it's only like, you know, 2-3 hours a day. And the rest is just all like what I was doing before. Isn't it? I know. You know, that's why people said, oh, you're going to be famous, something big's coming, because it's just the way I am. I mean, there's like a vortex around me. Everyone, they've named it. It's called the Baird Vortex. It's like there's magic that happens around me. And anyone who gets into this vortex feels it and instantly becomes unbalanced. They lose track of time. I mean, it's really trippy. I mean, magic shit happens. It's crazy, man. And you know what? It's because I fill my life with magic. I live just outside Yosemite. I go into Yosemite all the time. I watch the sunset and the full moon rise from a peak. I go to swimming in the rivers. I swim under Yosemite Falls. There's a cool video I made this summer where I went and swam under Yosemite Falls with a GoPro, and there's rainbows all around. You know, I fill my life with that shit, and I share it. And when you share it, you get more. So it makes me like this magic creature. Then shit happens when you're around me. Like, people are just going like, whoa, can you believe that just happened? Yeah. Right. Yeah, you know, when the Native Americans here, they couldn't see the ships in the ocean. It was the chief who saw ships and said, look, there's ships out there. It wasn't in their frame of reference to understand that there was a ship out there. So I look at a rainbow, and I'm understanding that I'm in the presence of God, and I'm waking people up to that. And from now on, when anyone sees a rainbow, they think of my video. They can't help it. It's like I've hypnotized humanity to understanding that God is right there. Some crazy shit, right? And you know, I mean, it comes from living in Yosemite, from my kids being Yosemite Indians, from having this land. I bought this land in 1988 when I was 25 years old. It was raw land, and I hacked a farm out of, out of the wilderness, and started feeling like I was Noah, because, I got my own well. It's like an ark. If the shit hits the fan, I can still survive on there. And I started feeling like, hey, I feel like I'm Noah. And right when I wrote that the first time in an email, I sent it, and my house fills with color, and I grabbed my camera, and that's the video. And I just wrote an email saying how I felt like I'm Noah. And so when I walk outside, though, I see the whole thing. It took me a while because there was a tree in the way. When I got clear, it looks like a giant eyeball. Like, when you're a photographer and you look in the lens, you see reflection to your eyeball. I'm like, that's what that looks like. That looks like an eyeball in the sky. I'm like, what could have an eye that big? That's God. I just said, I'm like, Noah. Noah, God's in my front yard. That's what the whole thing is. And as soon as I see the whole thing, it feels like a giant hand pushes me to the ground, and I'm on my ass for the last 2/3 of that video. I'm literally knocked to the ground. That's some crazy shit, right? So God touched me, He spoke to me and through me, and that's why I've infected humanity this way. It's not about me. I'm not even in the video. God, I'm a messenger for God to awaken them to spirituality and nature and the beauty that surrounds you. Some crazy shit, right? Yeah. Yeah, and the video is a side effect of all this shit. And it's not like people think, oh, you got this video and it made you famous, and no, this shit was all happening. That was just part of what I was supposed to do. It all comes from this crazy, amazing life that I lead. I was born in the barrios of East Los Angeles. I came to live in Yosemite in 1985 when I was 22 to work for the fire department here, and it's like I just changed my reality and said, I came to Yosemite. People come there from all over the world, and they want to just visit it 1 week. I'm like, I'm living here. This is my home now. I married into the Yosemite Indian tribe. I bought land. It's like I just made my reality really mind-blowingly amazing. Because, Yosemite's so powerful, and I go take advantage of it all the time. Yeah, right. Yeah. And all of it, helps that I'm poetic, that I know how to speak well, me describing a rainbow in my front yard to affect humanity like this, that, part of it is just say I have this natural ability, but the main part was like, yeah, God's right there. He touched me. He spoke to me. the words, it's like people are hypnotized. It's like now whenever they see something, a rainbow or something beautiful in nature, they start comparing it to my experience. And so what do I say? I say, what does it mean? If I can get people to question what something in nature that's beautiful means, that's powerful, because I'm awakening people. It's so much more when you start delving into it, right? Yeah. Negative. I think probably the most negative thing is the YouTube comments. But you know what? That doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit. That's them. It's like that's the only thing that I can see that's negative about it. That, and I gotta travel a lot. Yeah, most people like to travel, but I don't. Like, you know what? I'm already in the best place. Yeah, I don't say no. If someone says I'll pay, come out, I do it. If they're gonna pay all my expenses, I have to go. And that happens all the time. So I mean, if I'm physically able to, if I'm capable of doing something, I do it. I never turn nothing down if it's right and if I can do it. And it can work into my schedule. Yeah. Oh, I mean, in the beginning, CNN said a drugged hiker sees a rainbow, and I'm like, dumb shit. That's the front yard of my farm that I hecked out of the wilderness.